Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
I also read with expression. Whenever there are different characters in the story, you have to give each character a voice. Whether it's a dog, the puss, the fowl, the snake, even the wind, you have to imitate that so they have a literal feel of what's inside the book.
Auntie Christie captivates students with storytelling magic.
The name of this story is
Saving Joe
Louis. I focus basically on students, little children, because I believe that it's a good foundation for them to learn reading from very early. Once you get that started, then the sky's the limit. They can do well in basic school, they can do well in high school, they can move on from there. And it's not just about just reading. Whenever I read and interact with my students. We using pictures for those books with pictures, and for those books without pictures, then I ask them questions and pinpoint them. I say, why do you think this happened, or why, that sort of thing. So you prick their minds, and then they will start telling you what they feel. I also read with expression. Whenever there are different characters in the story, you have to give each character a voice. Whether it's a dog, the puss, the fowl, the snake, even the wind, you have to imitate that so they have a literal feel of what's inside the book. So when you read like that to them and they start reading, it's like they're listening for those expressions. Because what I did years ago when I had my first son, my first child, in order to keep him quiet, I had to buy books. So when he's using a bottle or whatever, I take out a book and I read. I use the pictures as well. So he would be like, from the book to my face, to my mouth, it's like she's really talking something about the book, and so he's connecting the dots right there. But anytime I'm finished reading the book, he's like, the book clock, no. And start creating excitement in the bus.
He wants you to read again.
Yeah, so I realized that, and what I didn't realize was you're on a bus sitting down and other passengers are there. They're listening. And they're like, nobody's talking. And I didn't know that I had an audience back then, even whenever I get an opportunity.
And that was when you're interacting with your child.
Even though he was like months old, almost a year old. And I remember one day, this is something that I will never forget. One morning, I was not in a good mood. Me never in a story, me never in a telling him anything about the trees, or everywhere we pass, we normally would say something. I was not in the mood, and I didn't realize that the child was saying these things back to me until we reached the embassy, where they had this big poster called Alpo dog thing. And before we got to the bus stop, it's like he preempted it, and he was saying, dog, woo, woo, dog, woo, woo. And when the bus stopped at the bus stop, and then I hear him like, dog, woo, woo. I'm like, oh my God, you were listening all this time? And I got so excited, like the mood just went. I'm like, okay, guess what? I'm gonna buy every book that I can buy for you. I think I had lost my job at that time, and we had to move to another place. And in order to get the child settled in school, I had to stay back, go there early in the morning with his breakfast and read to him. That also created an audience with the school. So every morning, come, Auntie Christine is going to read stories. Come. So they had their breakfast and they heard stories. And there were times when I couldn't stay back. So you know what my son did? He went into the principal's library, took out a book. He sat on the desk, and he was there, picture reading out. Heck. And the kids were like, yes. And he gave the characters a voice. And the teacher said to me the next time, Christine, my goodness, your child is reading pictures and he's giving them voices and all of that. And I was like, that is good. And if you can get your own children to do that at an early age, and when you feel so they can't read, then you start act like the idiot and say, I don't know what that is. And my children said to me, Mommy, every time you see these open and close quotation marks, you're supposed to give it a voice. I'm like, okay, they're learning. So I think once this habit is fostered in the homes and in the schools, especially before they get out there in the school, they need to have a relationship with the physical books, because the computers are nice and all of that, but let them get comfortable in a book. It's also important that if they don't understand something, they learn what the word means, do their research, and that will help them even more. It's not everybody likes to read, especially some of our boys, and we want to get our boys more involved in reading and have that creative process going.
When he reached the tree, he was out of breath. He looked up at the silent cage. It was still too dark to see inside the cage. Can anybody see the cage? Yeah! You can see the cage? You can see it over here? Yeah! You can't see it? Can you see it now? Yes! I still come show you.
But this is very, very exciting. I saw how the children were responding to you. They were fully engaged.
Yes.
You could see from time to time they were so excited about what was happening that they wanted to get close to you. They actually got up out of their seats and they came close and wanted to sort of interact one-on-one with you.
Yes.
So it appeared to me as if you really have mastered the art of interacting with youngsters and, you know, getting them to come out of their shell, even the shy ones.
Yes, I do. And even though we have little children, before the pandemic hit, we usually go out to different schools, like high schools and stuff like that. And what we did was, whenever I'm reading, I invite them to come and read along with me. So each person would get a little piece or a paragraph, and they would read. So even if they're shy, I said, okay, don't be shy. I'm right here beside you, right? And I would help them along to build that confidence and read, and then everybody gets a chance. I remember going to this prep school down the road, and I said, anybody wants to read with me? You want to see the line that came up, everybody, and I'm talking a lot of boys and girls, and they were reading. I think that is something that we really, really need to help them with. So it's fun stories, it's magical stories, and it's factual stories, because all of that ties into the whole creative process of who we are and where we're going from here.
Finally, the holiday approaches, the celebrations and all that kind of stuff. Are you thinking of, for example, engaging the students before they go off on holiday, you know, sensitizing them about, you know, the celebration, the period of time that it is, and
Yes, definitely. I'm open to going to schools, and I'm open to sponsors sending me to these schools, not just the schools, but other institutions that they want to kind of liven the system, you know, the whole ambience and stuff. We have history. I also have a friend who's very good at history, where once we have a conversation about a particular subject, I write stories. I tailor-make my stories towards these things. We have the Taino experience. We have a lot of other stuff that are out there, which I think our kids need to learn more about, not just the symbols, but the story behind the symbols. And I think that's a great idea to continue with.
Thank you for reading the story for us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Wish list: a husband to complete family circle.
What I want for Christmas is my boys. I am 45-year-old female pharmacist and a business owner. And my daughters have been praying for the very long while for a daddy, and 2 baby brothers. I remember when my daughter said it to me, I was like, "But I'm old." And she said, "Mommy, Sarah had a child at the age of 90. Why not you?" And I said, all right. And it was always my dream to have 4 children. I mean, I started out late because of career and to grow my business and self-actualization. But now I've always still have the desire to have 2 more children. And they
So
want
you
2
adopted
baby.
one
Yes.
to make with the one, so now you
Yes.
want two more, and you want it from your womb. So tell me about this perfect man you're looking for. What are his qualities?
But nobody's perfect, but my perfect. He's imperfect, but my perfect. I want a God-fearing father, a God-fearing husband, and I need somebody that I can come home to and talk to and to help grow the business, and someone that can guide my daughters, because I want somebody that when I am busy, they are there for them, and he treats them like his own. I don't want nobody to treat my daughters as if to say it's your child and not mine. So I would like someone that also respect the fact that he's going to be a great support for us, and also be a family-oriented person and no jokers. I'm not in for the joking. I'm already 45. I've been seeing the world, and I'm already completed, but it's good to have somebody to share your life with, to continue your story. So when I'm gone, he can tell my story to somebody else. So that's what
People watching this might say, but you're beautiful. And so why, well, we know 45, but what's the urgency in going this unconventional route?
Well, one, I have fibroids, large fibroids, and if I do the surgery, a myomectomy surgery, it may end up being a hysterectomy. And it has always been my dream to have 2 more kids. So that's the only reason. That's the reason why I'm going this unconventional way, to seek a partner, my soulmate.
I want a daddy that is kind, generous,
Jessica,
and loves
ready.
the only God. And I want a daddy that can care for his family and loves his family the same way as he loved the world.
What about you, Azania?
And also, I want a loving, caring daddy that respects God and that loves God and read the Bible all day long.
Maybe there's that man out there watching. We never can tell. What would you want to say?
I would say, I'm not really sure, but here's a speech from myself. I would say, I'll make sure that they're loving and caring and treat us equal. And I don't want him to harm mommy or anything. And I want him to be a good person.
For me, we're here, we're ready. Willing to make life with you. Willing to share my life with you. And I want to say that I'm not one of those friends who say what is mine, but what is mine is ours. And of course, we have to make sure that we put something for our daughters and also the 2 baby brothers that they wish to have. That's it.
But we have to be realistic.
Yes.
This could maybe be viewed by the wrong kind of partner. Is there a way, or you just trusting God to send the right person? Is there a way you could, like, say, weed out the offers and know that, you have that plan? We wouldn't want you to give away that plan.
Well, every night I pray. I have a prayer, 31-day prayer for my husband, my boys, and it's something that I've constantly prayed for him, that whoever he is, God will reveal him. And I haven't stopped praying.
So you're hoping he'll be here for Christmas.
Well, I hope so. If not early January.
Don't give up on your Christmas dream.
Yeah. But as I said, I have my 31-day prayer for my husband, and I'm always praying for him. And I know he's out there and he's getting the message.
I heard that is not just your prayer. I heard
But
your
my
daughter.
daughters, yes, every night, even when I'm tired and I want to sleep and they wake me up, Mommy, we did not pray for our daddy and our 2 baby brothers, and I have to get up and I have to pray. And I said, yes, baby. And at first, when my daughter said, I was a bit skeptical, but every night I still pray for him because I still have hope and I still have faith that the Lord will provide. He will come.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.